G'day lovely people, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard, and this will be me sneaking a day off work during half term to spend with the kids. I'll just be in the garage for the morning, love, it's fine. Right, so what's going on? I've got wing mirrors. Right, okay, but let's do the simple stuff first. I've got mirrors. I've gone for like slightly oblongy ones. I've had them on a previous bike, I can't remember which one. But with the slightly angular nature of this bike, I've gone for aftermarket angular ones. I did look at the original ones, and they're big stalk ones with a big bot that just look awful on the way the bike looks now. So that's good. I was looking at pods. So how to cure my pod issue. I know people argue about my beer choices, but I'm not drinking now, that's there from last time. These are great, but they're really flimsy. This rubber bit on the end is a bit meh. So I've looked at, I saw an update, I saw on the CX500 site a guy that had basically put, plastic over the top of his filters, and I thought that's a really good idea. So what I've done is I've hacked a kiddies drink pot, don't tell them. I think, oops, that's not beer, that's quick stuff. I think what I'm going to do, sorry, I've got some better filters. They're still not great, but they're better. But I think what I'm going to do is just a little bit of double-sided, not double-sided, Velcro on the top, on the filter, and just to give it some splash protection, because I don't think, it doesn't need a lot. It just needs something. Obviously black, like that, and it will stop that drip from hitting and going straight on. And I've got a more robust filter than the other ones, but I'll give those a clean up. That's just straight off the angle grinder. Obviously we need some cleaning up. Chuck some black on, and I think what I then have is a little bit of a rain guard. Now I have done something similar before. What was that with? That was with a whitener, some sort of, yeah. But yeah, it works fine. I do have an issue. The issue I was I was really struggling to get it to start, and I was trying it with choke and trying it with no choke. Choke's not engaging. I think I've got a pulled spring or something. I need to have a proper look. But the choke isn't engaging. But I have had it started this morning. It has been going warm. Get that out of my hand. There we go. But that is slightly warm. I do need to sort that choke out. I've got the guards on at last. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get those on, but we're good. On pork, I wanted to do something. Probably because I didn't want to think it's finished. So I've made up some paper templates. Now under here, I'll do that in a second. I've got a couple of choices of decals to go on. You can't see those, can you? There you go. A little bit more scullage because there's some skulls up there, and people that like chops like skulls. So I've got some smaller ones, and I've got some bigger ones, depending on what a bit washed out there, depending on what I end up with. And the reason I've done it now is purely and simply because I think the number plates on that really kind of make the bike. They don't make it, but they cover up the battery box really quite nicely, and they add. It's not just a hide and conceal. And on this, all I've got behind it is a big ugly battery box. So all I've done is put a bolt through, a few washers just to pack it out, at least for now. I'll see if I've got anything I can use better. Longer bolt through the bottom of the pedal mount. Way too long at the moment, but that's fine. I've hacked it out of the same material that I've used for the other bits, and if I just prop it around, it kind of works. Now I'm just going to piss around on the other side and see where I end up with, and then probably give it a clean out, and probably the next time you see it will be all painted and looking reasonably spanking. But it just fills in a gap and just looks better, I think. And let's be brutally honest, you know, wet February is not the time to try and flog a bike. So if I piss around with it a little bit longer, just make it a little bit sexier, then so be it. I did think about extending this, you know, makeshift piece all the way up to the edge. I just thought it's a little bit much. It's just getting a little bit contrived. Good word. But right, I'm going to sling the bike round, see how I go for the other side. Pack away for today, because I did promise that I'm not having a day on the bikes, because it's a day for the kids. So I will piss around for the morning when they're only in pyjamas anyway, let's be brutally honest. Okay, so cardboard ahoy. The beauty of that is you get a good shape and you can just trim away, and if you cock it up, just cut it out and start again. Got the pens. These are awesome chalk pens. They rub off. It's part of my garage stack I picked up cheap from Lidl or Aldi or something. Yeah, so nice shape to dig out. I've got my jigsaw and let's get that out. Okay, so it's a few days later in the real world. Oh, tripping over shit already. And we're looking pretty good. So, painted and rubbed down. Now all that's had is wet and dry on it. Yeah, liking. I'm less concerned with that side because I've got good mounts. So I've got the bolt and the bolt that I put onto the battery housing. Or just pushed it through with a few nuts on it just to pack it out a little bit. I have less on this side, on the low side. I do have these R-clips, which I forgot I had. I can't remember, for those that remember back, I think they're from Tango, but I had those in stock and they're perfect size. But I'm not convinced that, you know, two of those is necessarily the way forward. So the battery is over to the high side, if you follow my drift. So I haven't really got a bolt that's long enough that I can hang off there. So I'm just thinking of how I make a bracket, whether I do that out of steel or just the same plastic. Excuse me, the same plastic that I've used for the actual sheet itself. I think I'm just going to go for the plastic. Let me have a bit of a play. Okay, so a fair amount of cocking around later, and I have a bracket. Now that is just plastic. In fact, it was a sheet of plastic that I had. I thought, that's black already, I'll cut that. It's actually a number plate. So yeah, I mean, excuse me, it's fine, it will do. So onto the battery box, it just gives me a spindle. So I've now got, for the low side panel, the two R-clips, 1, 2, and that to hang off, which is a lot more secure. I did originally look at that bracket and thought, oh, that'd be good, but of course it's on the swing arm, so it's going to be bouncing around like a loon. So anyway, right, I just need to grab the cardboard template, work out where to house these, poke some holes so I can drill holes in the proper bit. Yeah, then I'm going to give them some polish because they're just rubbed down at the moment. Excuse me. So they're nice and what I refer to as the bowling ball sheen. See if we can get rid of some of those scratches with a little bit of cut and paste, bit of polish, see how we go. Okay then, that's been a busy boy. Not filmed a lot of it, but that's on the bracket with my skull, my flaming skull. And I've got the other side on as well, and I think that just covers up the air box really quite nicely. I think makes a lot of difference. Airbox, sorry, the battery makes a lot of difference. Just looks complete. It sounds like it's a stupid thing to say, but it looks complete. Right, it's just make sure that he still works before my trousers fall down. And it's running quite nicely. In fact, fuck it, I'm going to chuck my helmet on and we'll take him up and down the hill. Okay, so it's a busy time at the moment. My youngest has a show. Danger of me twatting bikes there. Let me just make a little bit more space. Yeah, so my youngest is in a kids theatre company thing. So bouncing backwards and forwards, dropping her off and picking her up. So I've not had a great deal of time. Actually, boop. Let's leave that going as well. Yeah. So. Let's just make sure that Pork still moves before I get too excited about him looking too good. Ooh. Get some fuel through him, I think. Oh, it's Floof. My daughter loves that little dog. That's better. It's just burning through that little bit of oil, a little bit of fuel, old fuel. Ooh. It's a noisy back brake. I'll have to have a look at that. There we go. That's like a hairball on a leash. Now that back brake seems to have eased off a little bit. Oh, it's quite a comfy ride this actually. It's a nice load of cushioning in the seat because I don't have that fat ass. That back brake has now eased off. Well, I say eased off, it's not snatching like it did a second ago. That's a lot better. Happy with that. Well done, Porky boy. Let's just drag you back in. Okay, there we go. It struck me just as I was sorting little bits out that I hadn't actually changed the oil on this, so I have dropped the oil. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just dark, just old. I didn't check. I do have service history with this, that's unusual, and I didn't check when it was last done, but yeah, 36,000 to scribble that down somewhere. Yeah, I think we're all good. I didn't bother filming dropping oil. It's the most pointless thing in the world to try and show. Yeah, I think we're good on Pork. I think Pork's done. I may well just push him away until, I say, the weather warms up. It's a bloody lovely day today. I really enjoyed that little hike up and down the hill. Push him to the back of the garage, wait till the weather warms up, maybe do a bit of touch up on paint because there's bits of red come through. So at some point it's had a red frame, which is weird. But yeah, I think we're pretty much squared away on El Porco. I need a bit of a clean at some point, but I think he's good to go. It's great fun to ride. It's you know, when they move, Superdreams are great. Cool. And I really do like those side panels. I best push him back and take a photo for the cover, for the title page. I need to get rid of that oil into one of my other buckets that can go to the skip next time I do it. Push that back. Next up will be Otto, a little bit of pissing around and sorting out to do, mostly due to the choke, which has ceased working. I think the springs got stripped, but the one bit I did want to flag to start with is I have different filters on it and I have rain covers on them. More on that next time. Cheers all, I'll catch you later. Ta-da.